Well, I tell you what, boys. Whenever somebody says they're doing one last job, that usually means their heart's not in it. Probably never was. But for me, well, I do the love the game.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brickmaker channel. Today I am bringing you a video that I probably should have done a while ago, but in celebration of Season 2 finishing production, which was definitely still recently when this comes out, I wanted to do a character run for the Fallout TV show, and I decided the best one to pick for the initial one would be the Ghoul, mainly because I just love Walton Goggins so much. I'll be playing through Fallout 4 as if I was the Ghoul, making decisions based on if he was in the game, and making decisions if I was the radioactive bad man himself. I got a good few mods for this playthrough to make it feel just as authentic, and without any further ado, we go ask the question, can you beat Fallout 4 as the Ghoul Cooper Howard? Our journey begins as it always does in our bathroom. I make him look as close as I can to Walton Goggins, and you know what, I'm pretty happy with the end result, it's not too bad. I name myself Cooper Howard, and give myself pretty heavy stats into endurance and agility. The game starts off as it normally does, but instead of taking a right towards the vault, I have introduced a mod that will actually allow me to take a left towards the bridge. Now normally what happens when you run towards the bridge at this point, the bomb will just immediately go off. And this scene usually does play. And what will happen is that your character will get taken out. But for this playthrough, instead of me getting wiped out, you actually wake up, well, as a ghoul. It is more or less the same start, except you don't spend any time in the vault and you wake up in a cave. And look at me, I'm now ghoulified. It's a cool mod, but I do take another chance with the cheat terminal and make myself bald, just like the ghoul himself. And instead of making my way to Sanctuary via pipe and down Beautiful Mountain, instead I'll be going through a sewer pipe. Lovely. The sewer pipe just comes out straight into the river next to Sanctuary, so the game has officially begun. Now the Ghoul mod allows for 0 radiation to be taken from anything, water, walking in certain areas and food. And also I had a Cooper Howard standalone mod added in as well, which gives me the Cooper Duster and the Cooper Lever action rifle. I also added in a little bit extra spice and put in the Cooper Howard companion, but we're gonna go meet him. After that, my outfit is more or less nearly complete. The only thing that is left now is to get myself a cool hat. On my way to go meet a special someone, I passed by the Red Rocket truck stop and, well, Dogmeat is a totally viable companion via the TV show. So for this playthrough, I'll actually have someone to help me carry around all my junk. I take a quick look at the Duster and notice just how overpowered it is, and also how overpowered the Cooper Lever action rifle is because it only uses 38 ammo and not 45. Arriving at the Drumlin Diner, I run into the Ghoul himself. Now what this allows for me to do is to speak to the Ghoul, get a little bit of dialogue and have him as a companion. However, the main thing that we're looking for is to be taking his weapons. For some reason his lever action rifle has a scope, which I think is quite weird, but the main thing we're looking for is his revolver. This is also an extra mod that I put into the game, giving us his special explodey pistol from the TV show. It does use shotgun shells. I was also able to grab Cooper Howard's cowboy hat, so my character is fully finished. With that, there's no ifs, ands or buts, no coconuts, it's time to start playing the game. Something to highlight is that although he is a ghoul, for some reason I believe I should take the ghoulish perk, that's why I had 9 endurance. But something you guys should also know is that I'll be planning to get the ghoul all of his perfect stats from the show. Now you might be wondering where you find these stats. I found them on the Screen Rant website, you can see them here. So by the end of this playthrough I have to have a minimum set of these stats at least. I arrive at Concord and notice that, well, Preston Garvey is having a very tough time up there as he's getting lit up by the raiders. And I decide to start firing back at them since they're firing at me. I squeeze my wrinkly old butt right through all the different raiders here. And I'm starting to really enjoy this revolver pistol. I mean, the explosive damage is a very, very nice touch on it. And it does do a good amount of damage without too much splash. I tell Preston that I've got my own problems and I've not got any time to help him with his. And that the world is indeed cruel. However, when I try to leave the Museum of Freedom, I am also attacked by all the different raiders. So, if you're going to shoot at me, I'm sure as hell going to start shooting at you.
Get over here, I'm gonna spank the shit out of both of you. Come get you, I'm gonna get you. Yeah, off my knee. Get out here. Bad boy.
And what do you know, as I'm fighting them, a Deathclaw comes out of nowhere. Something we never saw in the Fallout TV show Season 1. We never got to see the Ghoul fight a Deathclaw, so we don't know how he would handle it. However, I know how I will handle it, and that is by sitting up right up high and making sure that I don't get any close to it. And with that, me and my companion, Cooper Howard, are able to take him out. Unfortunately, I get some revenge put on me by a car. It's also at this point that I decide I don't want to have the Ghoul as a companion because it might make the game a little bit too easy, so I send him back to the Drumlin Diner. And I start making my way towards Diamond City, so I can figure out more about what happened to the family. Similar to the TV show, they go off to a vault, I didn't, and I don't know what happened to them, so it really is a case of me looking for them. I like to look at this as some sort of alternate reality. It is Cooper Howard and it's the same story, but it's not the whole vault tech blah 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 stuff. However, I am still not too friendly towards the Brotherhood of Steel. Because, well, they don't exactly like ghouls. So I don't exactly like them.
Well, I guess basic training ain't what it used to be.
After I finish up the last of the ghouls though, I'm finally able to attack them. For some reason they are critical characters, so you can't take them out unless you save them first, so it's it's a weird thing. I think it's to make sure the characters don't get taken up by the ghouls if you're not in the area. I suppose it's somewhat smart, but now I'm finally able to start finishing them off. With Scribe hailing down and Night Reese out, I'm able to send Buzz Lightyear straight back to space. I pass by the Diamond City security, fighting some super mutants. Again, first time I'm seeing super mutants. And I am not a fan, to be honest. And I run into Piper. And well, we all know what anyone's opinion of Piper is.
Outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
We give it the absolute coldest of shoulders. And get a very warm welcome to Diamond City from Mayor McDonough, who is absolutely full of it. We start making our way around the stand, and we find ourselves in a colonial tap house, where we get to enjoy a nice bar fight watching poor old Paul get his ass handed to him by Cook. Well, that poor guy is a coward, but he does want to pay me for some help, so I am a bounty hunter at the end of the day. On my way back though, I am introduced to another horrible person. This is now the third person that hasn't been particularly nice to me in Diamond City. A place that don't really welcome ghouls, so... Well, there's only one way this is all going to end. And even though I didn't help Paul, it don't mean I helped Cook either.
I'd offer you one of these cherry tomatoes, but you got a hole in your neck.
And with Cook's note taken, I can head straight over to whatever the hell this deal is going to be and take all the goodies for myself. None of these triggermen even stood a chance. With the last one finished off, I'm able to grab myself 60 of every mind-bending, pain-numbing, game-breaking chem that I can find.
Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
On my way back into Diamond City though, I noticed that I have a couple of snacks getting themselves into some bother. And by snacks I mean, well, if I ain't got enough Stimpaks or something, there's always plenty of free food lying around.
It ain't all canned peaches and marmalade left up here, sweetheart. Sometimes, fella's gotta eat a fella.
I pop myself into the Valentine Detective Agency and I am met with another rude person. And to be quite frank, well, to be honest, my name's not Frank, it is Cooper. I'm a little bit tired of it. So I'll take my anger out on Ellie right now. Just Ellie, because, well, you know, it's not everyone, is it? I mean, I wouldn't be introduced to another rude This is a robot. Doesn't quite count, does it? Doesn't really... well... there's a... Oh! Oh, wow. Oh, it's you again. Oh, what have you got to say? What have you got to say? Oh, well, I think it's been decided, hasn't it?
Just like that. Just like that.
The people of Diamond City do not deserve to live. They have been rude. They have been snobby. They have been dismissive. They don't even let ghouls into the city. And, well, if they're going to defend their snobby brethren, well, they'll go the same way as they all did. At the hands of a ghoul, perked up and powered up by every single edible and weird bloody jet, whatever the hell you call jet, goddamn inhaler crap. And not only will I wipe them out, I'll goddamn eat them while I'm at it. If you're a named character, if you've got a special name for you, you better believe that you're going to be part of my diet today. I'll be eating them boots and all. Because why waste precious caps on stim packs and food when there's plenty of food just lying around? And with that, I have wiped out the majority of Diamond City. Most of the people that won't even come back to get me later. Well, except for one. I did run into Darcy out of nowhere. And she didn't seem too upset about Paul's death. She didn't seem too bothered that Cook done it. And yet it still all seemed to be about her. So, let's put her mind at ease. Even when I tried to leave Diamond City, I got a little bit more bother as well. The Diamond City security did not seem to be too happy with what happened inside. And for some reason, Danny Sullivan is a necessary character. I don't know why, but well, he'll get to live because I can't take him out. I enter Park Street Station to go figure out about the poor man in a coat I heard about. And actually, when I first walked in, they didn't necessarily aggro onto me straight away, and I thought maybe it's the Ghoul mod, but no, they do eventually start shooting, so I eventually start shooting back as well. And the fact that this lever action weapon, first of all, has huge damage, and it's also using 38 rounds means that I have no issue with keeping myself supplied. And 2 plus 2 certainly can equal 4, and this might have been the easiest clear out of Park Street Station I've ever had. With Valentine saved, I head back over to speak to Skinny Malone, and at this point I'd only given myself 1 charisma for the time being. And I was still able to somehow pass a red speech check, which I was pretty happy about. And it was to encourage violence, so it was lore friendly and a difficult thing to gain. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Why the fuck am I doing all the work? Now, come on, Volty. Ass jerky don't make itself.
I mean, I don't know if we could have won this battle without Darla in her dress swinging away. And to be honest, I also was a little bit unsure that we could trust her. So, I mean, no witnesses means no witnesses. I mean, Nick doesn't seem to have a problem with it. He's still willing to help my decrepit old face. Also, someone who don't seem to hold a grudge is Ellie. I mean, I did just blow her up about 10 minutes ago and she has absolutely forgotten all about that. And even she offers to help. Maybe I was a little bit too hasty about Diamond City. Maybe they all didn't deserve to go. One man who deserves to go though is this piece of crap. Mayor McDonough, who banned the ghouls from Diamond City, is being put flat on his ass while I hack into his computer. With his computer hacked, I'm able to get Kellogg's house key. But unfortunately, I am unable to finish him off, and for some reason Piper decided to take his side on this one and start fighting me. I mean, me! What have I ever done wrong?
I'm selfless, and I want to heal as many people as the dear Lord will let me.
All I did was walk in, get insulted once, and blow everyone away. Even you, Nick! Nick, what did I do to you? I mean, I did try and assassinate your assistant. And again, I think probably every friend you had in Diamond City is 6 feet under because of what I done. But I got the key, I opened the secret door. Isn't that enough, Nick? It would appear not, and the only person I can truly trust is Dogmeat. On my way to meet up with Kellogg, I pass through Vault 81. And if there's one thing that we know about the Ghoul, is that he is not a huge fan of vaults. And to even get into this vault, I gotta go off and do a little side quest for them.
Yeah, well, the wasteland's got its own golden sheep.
Oh, what's that?
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
After getting those free fusion cores that you have to get, I am eventually let into Vault 81. Giving a true observation to why people shouldn't trust whoever turns up at their door just because they come bearing treats. Now, when I did this playthrough, I, for some reason at this point, thought it would be appropriate for the Ghoul to wipe out Vault 81. Thinking back to it, I don't think he would. I don't think he'd bother. I don't think he would blame Vault Dwellers for what happened with Vault Tech. So at this point of the playthrough, I am a little bit like, sure, why not? Is he angry at Vault Tech? Yes. Would he wipe out an entire vault? Probably not. However, wiping out ashes, I mean, that is just one of the more devilish things that I could have thought about doing. After that little bit of a side quest, I just keep moving through and find more of my ghoul brethren lying around. And I arrive at Vorthagen to keep moving the main storyline along. Like I said, this is alternate universe Ghoul, so he's trying to find his son, not daughter. And I would say at this point, he wasn't aware of what happened to his wife because actually, I couldn't re-enter Vault 111 because it just glitched every time. So I'd say at this point, I'm not aware of what happened in that vault at all. So I'm still hunting down my wife and son. And the person who's going to give me those goddamn answers is Kellogg. With his head blown off and corpse rightfully eaten. God, I wish there was a meal of champions just like in Falloutnewvegas, because I would have got it by now. And I am interrupted by the Brotherhood of Steel, who bring their big old airship down here to start fighting me.
Ta-da! Look who it is.
This motherfucker.
I get this really nice scenic view of the landscape. I put a mod in to like upgrade the sky. I think it just made it more purple, but it's still a pretty nice look. And lucky for me, Piper and Nick have somehow forgiven my transgressions from before. I arrive at Good Neighbor and try my best to get out of this conversation because a ghoul has somehow made his way in with me. And I do try to intimidate Finn, but it just simply does not work. And before I get saved by the Lord and Saviour Hancock, I make sure to blow off his head by myself, sending him into the sky like Paladin Dance. I get downstairs and speak with Dr. Amari, give them only sarcastic and rude replies, and make my way through the brain where I would actually learn my wife got her head blown off. I get my way out of the cryopod and head upstairs and quickly speak to Nick. However, in this moment, I am distracted by a faint voice in the back room of the memory den. It's Kent. It's Kent Connolly. And Kent Connolly has an interesting offer for me. Another opportunity for Cooper Howard to put on an outfit and keep up acting. And although he doesn't want anyone to know what he's up to and what fun he's having, and while the town is completely distracted by, God Cleo, what the hell are you going to do? The ghoul gets a chance to relive his youth, relive the life before the war, pick up the Silver Shroud outfit, and for one more time, take on the great mantle of actor, and allow himself to be whisked away back into the arts. Now nobody can know about this, no one can figure out in Diamond City or anywhere that Cooper did this. This is just for him and Kent to know. And yes, I'm going to lie into the streets, flop around, and once again become a big character on a big screen. When thinking about what to do for this playthrough, which hasn't already been done before in other videos, I thought this was a somewhat interesting touch that Cooper Howard might have done, that the ghoul might have went down. It ain't gonna stop him from murdering and eating people, but it gives him the chance to put on a voice and speak as the Shroud. And to be honest, I really thought he would have had better acting chops than this. But just because the dialogue ain't great doesn't mean the action scenes aren't good. Because every single person that the Shroud has to face goes down in one shot. Because just because I'm playing a detective don't mean I ain't still a goddamn cowboy. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a nice touch? I'm interested to know what you guys think of this scene. If you were role-playing as the Ghoul, would you do this quest as well? I really do believe it fits the character. Just for a moment for him to indulge himself. Let me know in the comments below and leave a like while you're at it. We're going to try and hit 10,000 before the year is out, and let's hope we can. Now, even though we're playing superhero, that don't mean that we can't indulge ourselves in other activities. And we have found that there is also a bounty on some poor women down here at the National Guard training yard. And even though I was an actor first, we were bounty hunter second. So that means that this poor woman Shelley, even though she just wants to hide, I mean there's a lot of money's worth for her ass, so. After I blow her ass away, I'm going to eat that ass and head back into the Boston Common and find myself a nice pretty bounty for her. With all that done, I head over to speak with the main man in town, Hancock, and he lets us know that there's also another bounty out there for a gang called St. John's and a few of his lieutenants. So this is the best of both worlds. I get to pretend to be the Shrouds and I get to collect some bounties. And out of all the people that I believe the Ghoul would work for, I mean Hancock, also a Ghoul, loves his chems. I mean, Hancock is pretty much just the Ghoul with a little bit more, what's the word you would say, a little bit more pizzazz. Actually, that's a really good point. Hancock and the Ghoul's characters are very similar, except Hancock's a lot more kind of sarcastic and jokey. However, we have finally reached St. John's gang. Now, there's only a few people out there that know that I've been running around pretending to be the Shroud. That's St. John, that's Kent, and that's Hancock. Now, we like Hancock, but we don't want our reputation to be affected by this, so everyone down here, including Kent, will have to go. And even though I get all the different raiders to run off intimidated, that doesn't mean they're going to have the chance to live.
Where you think you going? You ain't going nowhere.
And with St. John's gang and Kent wiped out, I'm able to pick up that bounty and finally put an end to my acting career in the Commonwealth. Now I can start making my way towards the glowing sea and continue on with the main quest. When popping through here, I did wonder where the Deathclaw Alpha was. There's usually a pretty high level Deathclaw sitting here, but I think it was maybe ran off by the Brotherhood Knights.
I bet that outfit makes y'all feel like a big man, don't it?
Which I'm not usually enemies with at this point in the game, but I did decide to wipe them out at the police station, so I've got them to deal with now. And just like that, the Alpha Deathclaw pops out of goddamn nowhere. He literally just must have been, I don't know, activated by the Brotherhood soldiers, so he ran off, and then suddenly came back when I was passing through. But my lever action rifle is enough to wipe him out in only a couple shots. Very overpowered weapons at this point, very, very overpowered. To say that walking through the glowing sea wasn't a breeze would be a lie. Because not only do I have powerful weapons, I also have no issues with radiation because the Ghoul can't pick any up. And the first thing I wanted to do with that was test that out on the crazy cooks over at the Crater of Atom. Now they were not willing to pass up the information that I wanted, so there was only one way this was going to end. With a shot straight to Mother Islow's face. The reason I wanted to do this is because I know they only have gamma weapons. And as you can see right here, they have absolutely no effect on you if you're playing as a Ghoul. So they might as well be throwing spitballs at me at this current moment because they are unable to stop anything. With them taken out and I have gathered the notes about them, I'm able to pop over to the side and head to the rocky cave to meet up with Virgil. Luckily for Virgil, to be honest, he gives us all the information we need and sets us off on our path. That path taking us to CIT, so we can track down another heavy enemy to start fighting. Before we can reach it though, we gotta fight our way through a couple raider camps and eventually reach Green Tech Genetics. It's here where we find a nest of gunners. Which again will be a new enemy for the Ghoul because I don't think gunners pop up in the TV show. Not that I'm remembering in this current minute, but I'm pretty sure they don't. and I jet and cycle my way through. I do reach the courser, and it is a case of shoot first, ask questions later, and 2 shots are more than enough to take him down. With the courser chip successfully extracted from his head, I make sure that there's absolutely no witnesses, and by that I mean absolutely no witnesses. The next stop is the Old Norse Church. As the brickmaker, I just hope that these people are polite and nice, because it feels almost like a character trait that anyone who's disrespectful has to get blown away. But don't worry, I have a lot of oh no. No, don't worry, we still have a lot of hope for these people to be No, we can still turn it around though. They could still be friendly. They let us in the end. Yep. This Tinker Tom guy seems pretty nice. Let's just hope that the rest of this conversation goes... Oh no. Oh, Desdemona. Oh. You just can't have any humility, can you? You can't just be polite and nice. Well, at the end of the day, it's going to cost you. And I do believe that the Ghoul would wipe out the railroad as soon as possible, mainly just because, well, their cause isn't particularly something the Ghoul would agree with. Like, I just don't think he would care about it. And not a single one of them is polite or nice. So they've got to go, blood. They've got to go. I'm serious, they've got to go, blood. With the chip decoded, I make sure to pick up some doggy bags for the way out. A doggy bag including every single character down here that has a fancy-wancy name. Saving Desdemona for last because, well, it was her shitty attitude that made this happen.
Now, I've always liked you.
Well, I've always liked you.
Well, ain't that sweet?
I head back to Virgil and give him shitty answers. And it is here that I am faced with the reality that, well, I only have really one option in terms of getting the signal interceptor built. Meaning I gotta go back and speak with Preston. Now, just because I gotta talk to him doesn't mean I got to like it. So I keep giving him crappy answers. Luckily for me though, siding with the Minutemen is like siding with Yes Man. No matter how shitty I do anything, they still seem to make it work. All I've got to do to get the signal interceptor on the road is to take out one group of raiders at the Corvega assembly plant. That ain't too bad, somewhat like a bounty, but I don't really get paid for it, but we'll take this little deviation in what I believe would be his character trait and get it done so I can enter the Institute. Now, I did take a lot of times to think about how the Ghoul would side with anyone. How would he do it, and who would he do it with? And with my aggressive answers,
Where's my fucking family?
I eventually find my child. Also with my child found, I also get the last perk to get myself the perfect character stats. Meaning that as the Ghoul, I feel fully ready to make my decision. And I do believe that in the end of it, he would pick the Institute out of all of them. Because the Brotherhood, definitely not. They hate ghouls. The Minutemen are too good, their whole thing is helping people, which the Ghoul doesn't care for. The Railroad just helps simps and have shitty attitudes about it, so definitely not them. And the Institute is kind of like the big bad guy, but I also don't think he would side with them either.
You know, I used to do these things called studies.
The definitive factor in choosing the Institute is the fact that your son is there. And in this universe, since it is his actual son, this is Cooper Howard's son in this game, I believe, well actually if I had full autonomy he wouldn't side with any of them, he wouldn't even bother. But if he had to pick one, it would be the Institute. So I'll be siding with the Institute for this playthrough. But just because I'm on their side doesn't mean that I'm going to complete any of their quests properly. Meaning if I've got a chance to wipe out a synth, I'm going to make sure I can do it before I have to return them. So I'll pass every quest, but I'll just get told that I've done it wrong. And that's what's actually quite interesting about the Institute. It's something I'd never noticed before. You can complete every single quest for the Institute line any way you want. You can fuck it up every single time. Because I believe that the game thinks that there's always a chance that you're either doing the covert thing where you're siding with the Railroad but just helping them out. So the game is designed to allow you to complete Institute quests without actually completing them. And I thought that was quite an interesting way of looking at it. So I'm with the Institute, but I'm not really helping them. I'm just trying to get my son's life a little bit easier. But that does mean that I'm getting pushed right onto the front line. And I have to fight my way through Railroad Heavies and Brotherhood Knights, which isn't too much of a problem. However, when I eventually reach the escaped synths, I have two options. I can capture them and take them back, or let them go. Or you can do the secret sneaky third option, which is kind of the Brotherhood one, where you can just wipe them all out. To be honest, for no real reason. Other than X418 is a bloody douchebag, so he doesn't get to live either. I get called up to go speak to my father's son, reach the roof of CIT, and yeah, he mentions that I fucked it all up. He mentions that it wasn't done properly. But, in for a penny, in for a pound, he doesn't seem that bothered because right after this, I get a massive promotion to become the next director. Yeah, I'll take it. We didn't save the synth at the Libertalia. We didn't save any of the synths at Bunker Hill. The Courser also got wiped out, and everyone's like, sweet, here's a promotion that sends you off to Mass Fusion. The most sensitive and the most difficult challenge that we've got. The thing that we've got to beat the Brotherhood on. Yeah, the guy who's fucked up every task we've given him. Yeah, let's send that guy. And I even get sent alone because you can be a massive prick to Ali Fillmore, which ends up her not even bothering to help. Think about it, you can be such an asshole in this game that even though this is the most important thing in Ali's life, she's like, I'm not going. You're too much of a douche for me to come with you. Anyone who said that you can't be a bad guy in Fallout 4 just hasn't tried hard enough. No, that's actually not true. My character's not actually that bad. I'm just a snarky, sarcastic, aggressive, assholey person. But I'm still helping people out. I do really miss that Independence New Vegas ending for Falloutnewvegas. That seems like the perfect kind of evil ending if you don't want to side with anyone. You might also notice on your screen that I am able to run straight up to that blue line on the Beryllium Agitator and not die. I love playing as a Ghoul, it's really nice. Because in this type of Ghoul playthrough here, it doesn't really have any drawbacks. I just don't suffer from rats, but no one treats you like a Ghoul, so it's lovely. It would be quite nice though if there was. I know Fallout 76 has a Ghoul playthrough, where people do actually treat you like a Ghoul, so that would be quite cool. I kind of hope Fallout 5 or whatever the next Fallout game has the option to be a Ghoul synth. You know, kind of like how Skyrim and Oblivion let you pick a race. It would be quite cool if Fallout let you pick a race as well. That would obviously mean that you wouldn't start as a vault dweller. No, you could. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? You pick your race and that determines how you grew up in the vault. So if you pick Super Mutant, you worked in the FEV lab or something. If you pick Ghoul, you worked by the reactor and you turned into a Ghoul. If you pick Human, you're just a regular vault. That's a great idea. That's fantastic. Anyway, back to what's happening on the screen. I've just given an extremely threatening speech to the Commonwealth. And on my way back to Diamond City, I get pulled over by Colette, who is pretty upset about Cook. And yeah, that is her choice for coming over to try and get revenge with poor old Cook because she didn't stand much of a chance. And with 2 shots, Colette falls to the ground. I try to activate the radio here and I just steal a coffee pot by mistake, but I don't have time to go to jail for that, so Travis Miller meets his end too. And I make sure to eat him in the meantime.
You should be ashamed!
Again, I'd love if there was some sort of Meat of Champions perk like New Vegas. That'd be a real nice touch. I've eaten everyone. Everyone possible has been eaten. Me and my son give a speech to all the scientists. He's in his nice lab coat. I'm in the sheriff's outfit. I'm in a duster and I have human remains on my face. And I decide that is now a good time for me to host my first parent-teacher conference. I learned that my son's getting very good grades. So I let them know that we should put all of our efforts into waging war and developing weapons. Because even though I don't think what you pick here matters, it just seems the most devilish. Before I continue on though, I have to quickly do a little bit of another side story here. and deal with Lawrence Higgs, who's trying to hold the entire institute hostage. He wants to keep the food to himself because he's not happy with my appointment. I mean, why isn't he? Look at me. Aren't I just a lovely old soul? I don't kill for money. I don't eat people. I'm not a ghoul. But no, he still don't like me, so it's death by gorilla. Once the gorilla clears out all the scientists, I make sure to wipe out any of the gorillas because I do not want to risk the 100 men versus the 1 gorilla challenge coming back out. And me and my son have another great chat about the railroad. And luckily you don't have to head back there and wipe out nameless people like you do for the Brotherhood. You can just end it there. With that, the only faction left to take out is the Brotherhood themselves. So we get speaking to Dr. Lee, but I do make sure I head back to Sanctuary so I can do one last thing. I don't know why, but when I get near the end of the game, I really do sit down and think to myself, is there any quests in this game that I should have done? And for some reason, ODing Mama Murphy, to me, just felt very Cooper Howard. Fill her with chems just like myself, but also make sure she don't get to enjoy her fancy chair anymore. Aren't I just the worst? I also make sure to eat her body in full view of everyone. God, this really did become a cannibal run, didn't it? And for some reason the Long family did not appreciate that, so they both have to go the way of Old Yeller. With Mama Murphy OD'd and eaten, I can now head myself straight over to the Boston airport, where me as a massive conglomerate and ball of just bullet spongy goodness Terminator 2 my way right through all of the Brotherhood of Steel, while constantly spamming Stimpaks. At this point I've probably got close to 70, I haven't really had to use them, so I thought there's no point in me trying to sneak around and snipe anyone, let's just go in guns a-blazing, just like he did at Philly. It's not a case of if I'll win, it's just a case of how long will it take. And with the Sims now turning up, it gives me a little bit more freedom to pick and choose my fights. I clear out most of the soldiers and start getting this Sim virus working its way on Liberty Prime. Now it's just a case of making sure my fancy little robot gets plenty of time to finger Liberty Prime. I decide to practice my sniping, and I am eventually faced with the leader of the Brotherhood, Elder Maxon, who I know eventually does come down here to fight if you save the Institute, but I've never seen him take this way before. He decided to jump on the roof and he fell off. So I think it's only fitting that we finish this battle one-on-one. The leader of the Brotherhood, the man who hates ghouls more than anyone, fighting the ultimate ghoul. And I'll tell you right now, it was pretty damn hard to hit him with all the goddamn light shows.
Damn, y'all ain't got me working up an appetite.
With Elder Maxon wiped out, I am unable to eat him before I get teleported away, and I'm able to stand here and watch the airship get blown up. It is a damn beautiful sight, like America right there, like pecan pie and Salisbury steak, or whatever the hell else he says to that ghoul. But it's not quite done, because before we can do anything, we gotta pop back to the Institute and say bye bye to our son, finishing the game, saying yes, you can indeed beat Fallout 4 as the ghoul Cooper Howard. A nice simple run. Not too much mods to add in, not too much quest stuff to do, not too many side quests to fill out. Just a simple start the character, pick the faction and get it done. I am going to try from now on to try and get these videos around about the 30 to 40 minute mark. I think 1 hour is a little bit too long. You guys let me know down in the comments what you think of the video lengths. I do feel like recently the Fallout 4 videos have been going on a bit too much. Or if you guys love the long form, I can keep it that way as well. But it was nice to have this video a little under 40 minutes, a little bit quicker this time. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, leave a comment, put down any sort of suggestions you would like to see me do next as well. The next video is currently being filmed, and it's a fun one. I am enjoying it. It is just taking me a little bit longer due to the character itself. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.